What's going on, guys? We are live back on the final day of the NBA regular season. And shout out to our guy, Adam Silver. It is truly your league. It is truly your world. I don't understand why all of the games, we have the whole weekend for games. You decide to play everyone Sunday night at 6 and 8:30 p.m., mostly meaningless games, but there are some games for standings and seeding purposes that actually do matter a little bit here. So we are recording now at 8 p.m. on a Sunday while there are games being played that actually will affect things, because we do this every last day of the regular season. But in the past, it has not been like this. A lot of teams are playing their third game in 4 days right now. There are a bunch of teams that are playing meaningful games, and they have played 3 games in 4 days. They had back-to-backs on Thursday and Friday. The schedule's a mess. You're an idiot. What are you even worried about competing with? The Masters?
Yeah.
Like, dude, grow a fucking pair and put games on all day on Sunday, or spread out the games between Saturday and Sunday. Like, it just, the schedule will always drive me absolutely fucking insane. The only thing I will ever complain about when it comes to the NBA, I won't complain about the large majority of things. The 2 things that drive me insane, the schedule and the end of games. I think we should eliminate fouling up 3. Those are the only 2 things I care about, because I think it's bad for the product. So anyway, welcome.
I think that I think the game should start on time. That's the only one that drives me insane. This was supposed to be a 6 o'clock tip. It was like 6:15 because it was on ESPN. And I was like, I'm going to find you. I'm going to find you. So we're here. We're watching the pretty much most of the Eastern Conference is going to be wrapped up by the end of these 6 o'clock games. We are coming to you live. It is 8:04 p.m. For those of you maybe listening to this after the fact, we're live watching the seconds tick down. Not a lot of close games. Atlanta is down 18 with 4 minutes left. That game is Jover. Somehow Orlando's down 9.
Okay, hold on. Explain the significance of the Atlanta thing, because but not everyone subscribes to the Patreon, because we're talking over-unders here.
Yes. So right now, Trill and I are we're in our I'm going to pull it up right now, but we're in our last 5 rounds of over-unders. There's only 5 teams undecided at this point. The Nets, the Hawks, the Nuggets, the Knicks, and the Bulls.
Coming down to the wire for those.
Coming down to the wire, and I need wins from all of them to get it. Trill needs wins from all of them except the Nets under, which it's looking like he's going to get because they are down 20 with 10 minutes to go against the Raptors. And the Knicks are down 15. So, total over for me in this. I think, Trill, you will get to 500 with this Nets win, though.
By the way, I just want to point it out there. I talked about it in the preseason with the over-unders this year. Yep. Hardest year we've ever had to do with the over-unders.
Crazy, yeah.
The amount of injuries, the amount of parity, the amount of, middling teams this year, it was really hard to figure out which side of the line they were going to fall on. I know that we went back and forth on teams like the Raptors and the Bucks in the preseason. Ultimately, I think I took the Raptors over and I took the Bucks under because I don't think you can build a team with one good player on it like the Bucks did this year, and it turned out to be true. But the thing that I just wanted to point out here is that not a lot of people are doing well on this year. Like Bill and Zach did significantly worse than we did. We had our worst season in years doing this.
It's looking like I'm not going to get to 500. Trill will probably get to 500 here, but I would need 2 wins, and it's looking like I'm going to go 0-3 in the early games. If the Bulls beat the Mavericks, that's 1 for us. If the Nuggets are able to get the Spurs and somehow close the season on a 12-game winning streak
to get us over the top.
Like, again, they have been in the loss column on this for a hot minute here. And it is.
And if I remember correctly, we both locked that too for the Nuggets.
We did. We locked that. We locked the Chicago. We both locked the Chicago overs, and you locked the Atlanta over, which is about to not hit. So it's tough, man. Like it was a really bad. Year. But yeah, Bill and Zach. As of this, I have to go through and kind of add it all up, but they're like 2 full things behind us. They're going to be 20 and a half. Okay, so they're fine there. I'll add them up while you're talking here at some point. But both of us, I think we're both going to, maybe Zach can tie me, but they're going to be under 500. Bill's going to be under 500. And Zach probably will be too. So
yeah, I was going to say the predicting this year for the over-unders was virtually impossible. So I'm honestly impressed that any of us are even going to come close to 500, because in the past we used to rack up like 20 and 10s and 18 and 12s. And this year was just kind of took a beating across the board. It was one of the most eventful NBA seasons in terms of parity, and even though there was a large amount of dog shit teams at the bottom tanking towards the end of the year, and a cream of the crop towards the top with like 5 or 6 teams towards the top, it was still difficult to figure out where teams were going to land this season coming into the year. So yeah, I think this would be my 3rd straight year winning.
4th
straight year. Let's go.
4th straight year. For Pete here. You were 20 and our first year. You went 20 and 9. I went 18 and 11. Second year you went 19 and 10. I went 16 and 13. Last year you went 19 and 11. I went 17 and 13. So
damn. See, that just shows you how much harder this year is. I got 20 and 19 in the other years, and this year I'm going to go 15 and 15, maybe 14.
You've got a shot to get to 17.
Okay.
So like you could get to 17, which would be if the Bulls and the the Thunder pull it together here. I'm gonna go ahead.
Nuggets.
Nuggets. Yes.
And by the way, I don't know if you caught this, but Wemby is not playing in that game. He already qualified because they played in the NBA Cup final. He already qualified for the 65. So he's not playing, but Jokic still needs to play 20 minutes to qualify. So Jokic will be playing 20 minutes. Now, it is the last game of the regular season, and Jokic isn't known for trying in exhibition games. So it's possible that he could completely shit it and then fuck us over. But overall, we still got a chance to get over 500 here. So
yeah, it's interesting. So I haven't really been keeping track of how the standings are breaking here. Atlanta totally punting on this. It's not going to help Miami because it's looking like Charlotte's going to Charlotte's going to win.
Yeah. And the Sixers can't fall any lower than 8. They're going to probably get 7 if the Magic end up losing to the Celtics here.
So yeah, I was going to say. So then, at that point, do the Raptors get past the Hawks? Then they'll be tied, right? But I think wouldn't Atlanta keep it in that case if it's a.
We do need to figure this out. Whether because so I just want before we figure. I'm fairly certain that the Hawks. I feel like the Hawks had the tiebreaker, but I might be wrong on that.
I think the Raptors have the tiebreaker, but I'm wondering if the Hawks, because the Hawks are going to win the division. So what does that mean?
No, the Raptors hold the tiebreaker over Atlanta. It says.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But does the tiebreaker does that matter anymore? Winning the division matter? That's the only thing.
So here's the thing. The division stuff only matters as a second tiebreaker. So if you split, so for example, if teams go 2-2 against each other in the playoffs, or I'm sorry, in the regular season. So let's say a team plays 4 times and they go 2-2, then you go division record. That's the next tiebreaker. So, and the Raptors were dog shit in their division this year, but that won't matter. So Raptors will get the 5 seeds. It's going to be Cavs, Raptors, Knicks, Hawks. This is actually, I think personally, this might end up being a better outcome for the first round here.
Yeah. So let's look at these matchups. So hypothetically, so it would be Cavs Raptors. What do we think of that?
Just first thoughts on Cavs Raptors.
Yep.
There will be. We talked about if it was Cavs Hawks that there was going to be like a little portion of the media that picks the Hawks because it is kind of the sexy upset pick. The Hawks have been playing fantastic down the stretch of this season. Since they got CJ McCollum, they've had the number one net rating in the NBA. I think that there is a reasonable argument to make that they could maybe pull off the upset against the Cavs, who have been up and down, I would say, and don't have a ton of minutes playing together since they traded for James Harden at the trade deadline. But I think the Cavs ultimately will not handle the Raptors, but I think that they just have a ton of advantages in that series. Now, the one thing that the Raptors do have an advantage with, and the thing that I've been selling short on the Cavs ceiling here, is just the athletes, the wing athletes on the Cavs. Like, even if you look at that team right now, the wing and forwards, which has kind of always been the thing that sinks them in a playoff context, right now they really only have wing and forward wise, they really only have Jalen Tyson and Dean Wade, who are both coming off injuries right now. So Jalen Tyson is back, but I don't know what he'll end up looking like. He might have a recurring toe injury. Dean Wade is always hurt. So there's a very thin margin for the Cavs on the wing going into the playoffs once again, where they're just kind of scrambling and looking for that. But ultimately, between the creation of Donovan Mitchell and James Harden, combined with the double big lineups of Mobley and Allen on the interior versus a Raptors team that certainly can be interesting with some small ball lineups, I think, with Colin Murray Boyles at the 5. But this Raptors team is just not. They've won some games recently, but they did somewhat stumble down the stretch the second half of this season. And if you dig a little bit deeper into their profile, a lot of their stuff is like they're not good. They're kind of like the Sixers in that, like, they're not good against good teams. They went like 0-12 against the 4 best teams in the NBA this year, or something crazy. They tend to beat up on the bad teams and hang with the middling teams, and then against the good teams, they're really just not quite up to par. So I would on first glance at that matchup, I would take the Cavs over the Raptors. To me, it's like, is that like a 5-game smashing, or do the Raptors steal a game and make it a competitive series?
I just feel like the Donovan Mitchell, James Harden aspect of it is just, I don't think that, what do they have for that? They don't have anyone who can guard one of those guys, let alone like 2. Like,
I think Scotty Barnes can hang with James Harden for sure.
I was gonna say that's like the only one, is it's like James, he can kind of contain James Harden's strength a little bit, but then it's like you're also okay. So you're putting your first team all defense guy. So what's the plan for Donovan Mitchell at that point?
And also, the thing about Scotty is
bigs.
The way that he's the game wrecker in a matchup is that he is just off the ball.
That's like, what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like you ideally would have a stopper you can put at the point of attack on at least one of these guys to kind of just wall up and make sure they're not just living on paint touches and getting the defense into rotation, and have Scotty kind of roaming off of the ball and causing chaos in the way that I think he's a good on-ball defender. I just think that he's a special team and an off-ball defender that can really cause havoc and get the team out running. And then that just turns it into a completely different series. Now, I talked about this a little bit on the Patreon episode. If I were them, I would just be like, fuck it. Jakob Poeltl, you're coming off the bench.
Yes.
We have to start Colin Murray Boyles at the 5.
Yes.
Like we have to try something, because right now what they're going to do is they've been playing Colin Murray Boyles about 20 minutes a game down the stretch of this season. And Colin Murray Boyles is someone that just gives them a different element in terms of being able to switch onto the perimeter, in terms of being able to provide just a real boost in the half court, I think, as a hub for them on offense. Like he's an underrated passer. I think that he definitely will struggle probably with the interior length of Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. But I think this is good experience for him. And like ultimately, with the Jakob Poeltl thing, like I know that Jakob has had moments when he's been healthy this year when the back hasn't been bugging him, that he's been able to kind of hang with some skilled bigs, and he's given the Raptors a different wrinkle when he has been healthy. There's just it's few and far between this season, and I just think the way that you can possibly beat this Cavs team is putting a ton of athleticism out there, a ton of size out there, and just muck shit up. And I don't think that they're going to be able to kind of basically have Jakob Poeltl in drop coverage with James Harden and Donovan Mitchell on the perimeter, and have Scotty Barnes fighting over screens the whole series, and just having RJ Barrett and Brandon Ingram getting attacked on defense. Like I don't think they have enough, but I think if you want to give yourselves a puncher's chance,
yes,
and just lean in on having that elite half court defense with Colin Murray-Boyles and Scotty Barnes. You might get beat up on the glass a little bit because of the size deficit just relative to Jakob Poeltl, but I think that making your defense as strong as possible, getting the team out running as much as possible, is going to be the key to winning a series like this. And I just don't think they have a chance if they're not playing Colin Murray-Boyles big minutes.
Raps Report just tweeted at me. Said my evil franchise is saving the Raptors right now. But I didn't know this. I didn't realize this. Raptors are 0-5 against the Knicks, but they're 4-0 against the Cavs this year.
So they've played the Cavs well. Obviously, the Cavs changed their roster at a certain point.
Yes.
They played the Cavs much better this year. As Rohan points out in the comments here, 13 straight losses to the Knicks. The Knicks have just had their number for the last few years, and they played them in the NBA Cup. So they got that extra game this year. They had no chance against the Knicks. That would have been a sweep or maybe a 5-game series. There's a world where the Raptors can make this series competitive. Ultimately, I'm just on first gut reaction. If I don't have to think about it a little bit, I would lean towards the Cavs. To me, it is very, very funny that this is the matchup in the first round, because I look at this Cavs team, and I think about Chiodo's comp with the 2022 Sixers, who traded for James Harden in the middle of the season, had a bunch of weird guys in and out of the lineup. Obviously, Joel always has his health problems. Jared Allen's had his health problems this year as a big, and they played a different version of the Raptors in the first round, but they played a Raptors team in 2022 when Scotty Barnes was a rookie. He's really the only holdover from that team still on the team right now. But they played a team that a lot of people took as the sexy upset. I was really worried about that matchup. And the Sixers got out to a 3-0 lead. The Raptors did make it competitive at one point, but ultimately the Sixers won in 6, and they had 3 blowouts in that series. So I do lean towards the Cavs just on first gut reaction here. The creation advantage that they have on the perimeter. I think the double bigs will be effective against a team like the Raptors that doesn't really have a ton of guard creation to be able to kind of exploit some of that. And then in addition to that, I think the Raptors are just a smaller team. They're not going to get beat up on the glass. They're not going to be exposed in any way. I just think that is on first glance, that is a favorable matchup for the Cavs. But if you're comparing it to the Hawks, I think the Hawks would have probably had a little bit of a better chance. But look, if the Raptors beat them in the regular season, sometimes that means stuff. Sometimes it means absolutely nothing.
The Raptors are kind of continuing their trend. The best. I like this Raptors team a lot more than I have liked past Raptors teams. I think there is more of a plan, and there's some more options to kind of get better than there have been in the past. But this is still ultimately the same thing where I kind of worry about them in a playoff setting. You know what I'm saying? I think that this is a team that I was just watching. I watched pretty much all of Nets Raptors today because I was really hoping that I could, if the Nets won, we were going to tie, and I could finally have not lost to you one of these years. So I was really rooting for my Nets to.
Well, I was also rooting for them because the Sixers could have jumped up into the 6th seed if they won that game.
And they hung around. I gotta say, dude, Jakob Poeltl is dog shit. It's alarm. You brought up bringing in Colin. You brought up bringing in Colin Murray-Boyles, and I totally agree because Colin Murray-Boyles is good. But even if Colin Murray-Boyles was bad and was just a replacement level player, I still think you would need to bring in Colin Murray-Boyles because Jakob Poeltl cannot function in a playoff set. Like he's going to get played off the floor immediately, and you're going to need to have other things. It's going to need to be Mamu. It's going to need to be Colin Murray-Boyles. It's going to I don't know what else they're going to be able to do, like size-wise. You're going to have to play Scotty at center, like for portions of this. And the Cavs are one of the only teams that have double big size, and that's kind of you guys don't have a lot of shooting. You know what I'm saying? Like it does. I understand that the Cavs have lost all those games this year, but I feel like this is actually kind of a really bad matchup for the Raptors. But maybe I eat my words here. Like we'll see.
So I just want to point out here, the last 5 games Colin Murray-Boyles has played. He was a plus 22 against Memphis, is a bad team, but he was a plus 22 in 23 minutes. The Boston game that they lost by a decent amount, he was a -1 in 26 minutes against Boston, a full strength Boston team.
Yeah.
Then he was a plus 17 in 20 minutes against Miami, a plus 21 in 22 minutes against Miami. And today he played 13 minutes and was a plus 12. He's already their third best player. Like I'm to the point where like, just roll the dice with him and see, because to me, those are the kind of players that really are just such a different, like kind of wrinkle you can throw at teams that they're not ready for in a playoff setting. And like, I think that you will have to struggle with some of the first time playoff stuff from him, but like, it's not like a lot of like Jakob Poeltl doesn't have a lot of playoff experience. There's really no one on this Raptors team that has a ton of playoff experience. I think RJ Barrett or Emmanuel Quickly has the most from playing with the Knicks. Like, Ingram's only been to the playoffs once. Scotty's only been to the playoffs once. Like, I do think that this is going to be a learning curve series for them, but I think it's a huge win, even if they take this to 6 games personally. Like, I think in a year where you drafted Colin Murray-Boyles, Scotty Barnes beat the allegations, right, and came back and became this all-NBA player,
Magic,
I feel much better,
by the way.
We'll keep an eye on that one. By the way, I did just get this. I wanted to shout out on this super chat. Thank you to RP for this super chat. Absolutely. How fast will the article saying the Magic hated each other come out after they're eliminated? So I've been wondering, because we've already gotten the Bucks hit piece out there with the Doc is already going on his tour saying that he's innocent and that it's just injury luck once again. Which, to be fair, we both said before the season the Bucks are fucked if Giannis gets hurt, and Giannis got hurt.
Giannis got hurt. So
there is some truth to that, even though Doc is a politician and is always scheming. But the teams I've been just keeping an eye on for the article coming out after the season, the Magic are very high up on that list once they get eliminated.
Paulo would walk out of film sessions every day. That will be a line. Nobody picked up Anthony Black at the airport when he texted the group thread, like asking for like.
No one went to go see Jonathan Isaac when he was preaching. Oh wait, no, what happened years ago. He's still on the team. He's still around.
He's still there, man.
He's still hanging around.
He's still there.
The teams I thought that I would say, it's funny enough because let's talk real quick about the Sixers Magic, because ultimately that's going to be the matchup, whether it's in Philly or it's in Orlando. Sixers Magic will be I would describe this as the bad vibe off.
Well, and I think if the Magic win,
no, but we're locked into 7-8.
You're locked into 7-8, but I don't think the Magic are locked in. I think they would jump the Hawks, right? Like.
No, the Magic are locked into 7-8. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Yeah.
You sure?
The Hawks clinched the top 6 seed when they won. That's why they didn't play anyone today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's 7-8 is Magic Sixers, whether it's in Orlando or in Philly. That's the only thing that Orlando has to play for right now against the Celtics backups. If the Celtics win, I promise you, I already looked into
the Raptors broadcast was talking about the 5 seed earlier today.
There's no way.
I don't know.
If that's the case, then the Hawks would be insane for throwing this game.
Yeah, I mean, that is crazy. I mean, they're crazy for that anyway.
I saw the graphic that said they clinched a top 6 seed in the East.
Okay.
So that was the lowest they could fall. So The Magic and the Sixers are the 7-8, whether it's in Orlando or it's in Philly. That's the first play-in game. Maybe we might end up getting a Wednesday. For anyone who isn't aware of this, the Flyers play a home playoff game on Tuesday at the Sixers arena. So it would be the first time I can ever think of this happening where if the Sixers are the 7 seed, we get the 7-8 game on Wednesday and the 9-10 game on Tuesday, meaning the 9-10 winner would have a rest advantage, an extra day over the Sixers Magic loser.
That might work out for you guys. I'm just going to say that might work out for you guys a little bit.
We are better. If we lose, we're better on less rest. I don't know if you're aware of this, but we were the best team in the NBA on the second half of back-to-backs this year.
I was saying you might want to just fall out of it altogether.
Oh, yeah, no, there's that. There's definitely a world here where I think a lot of Sixers fans are rooting for it at this point. Yeah. I think a lot of Magic fans and Sixers fans are in Jets mode right now. Just end the season.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that there's a lot of positives that can come from this, because we know that ultimately even the best case scenario is an absolute massacre against the Celtics or the Pistons in round one. The Sixers gave a health update on Embiid. The earliest he could come back is halfway through round one. We've done this before, and honestly, I think if they got crushed in the first 2 games, they wouldn't even rush him back if they make it into the playoffs. And the Magic, as that comment just pointed out, have even worse vibes than the Sixers, I would say, even though the Sixers kind of phoned it in here down the stretch of the season. But this Sixers-Magic matchup, they played a few times this year. The Magic absolutely annihilated the Sixers earlier this year in a national television game. And the other games they played were all very close this year. But it isn't really anything I can take from, because none of these teams' best players are ever available. Like, if you took Suggs, Paolo, Franz, and you stretched it out over the last 2 seasons, and Maxey, Paul George, Embiid, and stretch it out over the last 2 seasons, they've both played like under 500 minutes again. It's like an insane amount of lack of availability from both of these teams. So I don't really think you could take anything from their regular season games. Embiid won't be playing in this one. I don't know whether Franz or Paulo were available for those other games. They beat us by 40. We beat them by 12. And then we beat them by 12. But it doesn't mean anything.
No, this is what Brian said. So the thing is, if the Hawks will get 6 if the Celtics win, and they'll get 5 if the Magic win. Is how this works. So we just talked about a whole playoff series that might not happen. That might not happen. Yeah.
Why did we do that?
I thought it was over.
Why did you do that?
I'm not gonna lie. Orlando was down like 17, like 8 minutes to go.
Are you serious? We just
now they're down
15 minutes.
I know, but it's still looking good. It's still looking good though. They're down 7. It's fine.
People were trying to tell us apparently.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's still looking fine, but I'm gonna kill you if we just wasted all that time on a theoretical matchup that's not gonna happen.
It's sometimes you have to go a little. You got to go a little off the.
That better hold. That better hold.
Alternate timeline.
Please hold. But Sixers Magic. The Celtics are up 9 with 2:30 left, so it is looking pretty positive. Once again, Adam Silver to the Hague for putting these games when he put these games, fucking up our final podcast that we do every year. These games are usually over by this time. All the games.
What it is insane that they just didn't have. They were scared of the Masters?
I have no idea.
Like, what are you scared of? Like, there was I think all the hockey season was over yesterday, right? Like, I think hockey had its final day on Saturday. Like, you're not even scared of hockey. Like, why are you?
It makes absolutely no sense. I really don't understand it at all. But the Magic Sixers in the first play-in game is a depression off, basically. Yeah. I mean, neither of these team seasons went the way they thought they were going to go. Both, I would actually, you know what, the Sixers, their expectations were much lower for this season. Yeah. I think if you had told me before the year they won 45 games and they were the 7 seed, I would be like, and Paul George and Joel Embiid didn't hit 40 games played, I don't think. Yeah. That's, to me, that's a W. Like, I take that.
We literally have you on record saying that before the season. So
but that was before to be clear, that was before I knew that Nick Nurse was going to drive me insane all season. Jared McCain was going to get traded for a draft pick. And we were going to dodge the tax and not try to improve the roster at all, despite having an Andre Drummond, a Dembona center rotation. So that was the context there for why I feel differently than I felt in the preseason about this. Having said that, this Sixers Magic matchup, like, on paper, the Magic have way more talent than the Sixers when Embiid doesn't play. The Sixers really have, I think, 3 players that would start on a reasonable amount of teams in the NBA, and one of them is a rookie, and one of them is Paul George, who is and Maxi's playing injured right now. He finally started to look like a normal player today in the Bucks Sixers game, made some threes that he's been missing for like fucking weeks now at this point. But ultimately the Magic can lose to anyone and the Sixers can lose to anyone. So it's really hard to suss out who kind of has the advantage here. And I just think that going into a 1-game scenario, I tend to lean towards the team I think has more talent on paper, but they're losing to the Celtics 3rd stringers right now. How can you trust this team at all? And especially if they have to go out on the road to potentially to play the Sixers, it just feels like this is actually going to end up being a really close game down the stretch.
Yeah, I don't know. And it does kind of feel like whoever loses this game probably gets killed in the head by the Hornets in the 7-8 game, especially if the Magic, especially if the Sixers are the home game and it's a rest advantage for the Hornets. Like
the Hornets, or I'm just going to point out here, the Hornets, they have the best point differential in the history of the NBA for teams and wins this year. And they might miss the playoffs entirely.
Yeah.
Isn't that insane?
It is crazy. I mean, they would have missed the playoffs if the play-in wasn't an option, which is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, they waited too long to get hot. They obviously turned it around down the stretch of this season, and they were extremely hot for 2 months, but they cooled off a little bit when their schedule got a little bit harder. And this year, like, the Heat have been the one team that is not a good team that has kind of played them like fairly well. Now, the last game they played, they absolutely smacked the Heat. It was 136-106. The game before that, the Heat won 128-120.
I love that the Heat are bad at defense now. Every Heat game is like 160 to like 140. It's crazy.
Are you aware that this is the first time that a SPO defense has not been top 10 in a decade?
That makes sense.
And they're still 12th, by the way.
That is crazy. They must have banked so much defense, because I feels like pretty much since March, I've never seen a game where the Heat only gave up like 105 points. Like, they're all like them winning by scoring like 130 points to like 117 or something like that.
As of earlier today, Cleaning the Glass had them as the 12th ranked defense in the NBA. And I agree with you, especially like the Hornets just dropped 136 points on them. The game before that, they dropped 120. And then the Heat earlier in the year destroyed them. They beat them 144-117 and 126-108. So like the Heat are up 3-1 on the Hornets. Now this Hornets team obviously was a different team the second half of the season. They will be at home. If you're ranking the biggest moments in the history of the new Charlotte Hornets, this has got to be up there.
It definitely is. There's nothing that's even close, dude. Like, at all.
Winning Summer League.
Like, I don't even think it. I don't think it matters.
They got to the Cup playoffs. They got to the Cup playoffs, I think.
They did get to the Cup playoffs, but like this is a team that like.
Am I just making that up? Did they get to the Cup playoffs?
If they did, it was like 4 years ago.
Because I feel like
it was like year one or something.
No. I'm saying this year. This is the third time LaMelo's been in the play-in, and they've lost every time he's been in the play-in.
Sorry, you meant the
Cup this year. I think I felt like they made the playoffs in the Cup this year. I might be wrong, but the only reason I say this is that I feel like we've had this exact conversation about the Hornets 4 different times in the last year. Is this the biggest moment in the history of the Hornets?
Well, it's because this is the best year they've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is Baylor Scheinman with a huge chase down block, by the way,
to win the game.
No, it's tied.
I'm literally going to shoot you with a gun if we just spend all this time talking about a playoff matchup that isn't going to happen. Why would you do that?
I thought it was over.
We're gonna kill Sam.
I thought it was over.
Can we get kill Sam in the chat?
We can kill Sam. I don't think you can do that on YouTube. We're gonna get
okay. Just kidding. Actually, don't. Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
The chat.
What I was gonna say is that I do think that like the Hornets. The other thing about this is I think this Hornets team is also like not dead on arrival. Like this is a good enough. This is a team that can hang in a playoff series. They're probably not going to win, but they could scare anyone that they play. I mean, it's only Detroit's the only team they could play, but like,
and the Detroit just kicked their ass. Like, and the thing is, I'm going Bill mode here for a second.
Okay.
I feel like the Pistons are going to have a real fuck you streak in them right here, House. I feel like everyone's saying no one wants to play the Hornets or the Pistons might be fraudulent and they don't have shooting. I looked at, this was crazy the other day.
Yeah.
I looked at the leaders in steals per 36 minutes in the NBA this year.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 is Asar. Number 4 is Javonte Green. Number 6 is Paul Reed. Number 7 is Ron Holland.
Jesus. Is that true?
Per 36 minutes, they have 4 of the top 7 players in steals per 36 minutes this season.
Dude.
They have the possession game down pat. They kill on the offensive glass. Cade in the half court creating for them. They have unitasker shooters, but guys that can hit legit movement shots in Duncan Robinson, and we'll see with Kevin Huerter, because the last time he was in a playoff context, his brain absolutely broke, and it might have broke his actual NBA career. We'll see if that can happen. But the long and short of it here is that the Pistons have a potentially the Pistons have a real reason to just come out and absolutely destroy did Garza just hit a game-winning shot?
I believe so. They're up 3. There's still time.
I just want to point out someone saying Luka in all caps has never been for Luka Garza in the history of our chat.
Massive Delano Banton playmaking. So Celtics are up 3 with 31 seconds left.
Wow. So we've got a chance to salvage that. Your ass is on the line here, Sam. You got to.
I'm not worried. I've never been.
This is the most important Celtics game in the history of your life,
John. This is definitely the biggest Celtics game. John Tonji has been a massive part of the Delano band. John Tonji, Boston Celtics.
Oh my God, dude. Got himself another bag today. Good for Good for Delano Banton. So the Hornets are definitely a scary team for sure, but it does feel like ultimately this team they have to win 2 games just to get in. Now, if they win the first game, I'm taking them over the Magic or the Sixers. Yeah. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that they're going to be like, they'll have the advantage because the other team will have lost the first play-in game and be like, we just kind of want this season to be over with. I feel like in my gut. And the Sixers did just play the Hornets tough, but Joel Embiid was huge in that game. So ultimately, I do view all of these play-in teams as kind of dead on arrival and actually winning. Because I think especially Detroit, I think they're gonna have a week's rest. They're gonna finally be healthy here, and they're gonna come out with something to prove. Like, I feel like people have been really doubting how good this team actually is, and I even had my doubts earlier this year when they would just have games where they could not make threes. And there will be individual games in the playoffs where that comes back to bite them. But over the course of a 7-game series, I feel good about them beating on any team that's that much lower in the standings than them.
Celtics up 3, and Suggs fouled Garza, sending him to the line. So with 9 seconds left. So
we salvaged the bit, folks. We don't have to kill Sam.
I don't have to die. I might not have to die, barring some of this. Yeah, I like. So here's what I would say. Because I've come around. Like the Pistons are just good. I mean, they're the number
awesome.
One. They're just
really give a fuck.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I this is less about the Pistons being a week 1 seed, because I don't think they are. Playoffs or not. Like, I think they're a very strong team, and I think that, like I've come around to the thinking that like this is not an auto win for whoever comes out of Knicks Celtics. Like this, the Detroit is going to be in a really good spot. I expect them to make the conference finals. I'm going to be picking them to make the conference finals. But this is more just about Charlotte and their weird season, and the fact that Will's made this comparison before, and I agree with it. Like them doing the Derek White Boston Celtics year, where the Celtics were like under 500, but doing like a more extreme version of that.
Right.
Where it's like
you're,
and it's unfortunate that they couldn't like get those extra 2 wins they needed to get themselves up to like the 5 seed, like, so they're still in the 9 seed here trying to go out. But this is more just about how good the Hornets are versus like me disrespecting the Pistons when I say that I think the Hornets could still make that an interesting series.
For an 8 seed in the East,
yes.
I mean, it's really like the only team that we've seen that is like even remotely comparable to this team is probably that Miami Heat team that made the finals a few years ago. Yeah. Where and we didn't even think that going into the playoffs, to be clear, but they did have the experience. They had Jimmy Butler, they had Spo, and they had just a bunch of, and Bam, and they had a bunch of bullshit Heat role players.
Weird stuff happens all the time. Guys get hurt in the playoffs all the time. Like, this is not a comfortable, because sometimes in the 1-8 matchup, somebody can get hurt and you can still like tank it. Like if Duren gets hurt or something like that, like, I don't know.
Like people are pointing out in the comments, like Franz, it just apparently did not recover from this injury. So if the Sixers win, they don't have if the Sixers lose, they don't have Embiid. If the Magic lose, the Hornets, if they beat the Heat, which by the way, I'm not putting that in pen yet. In a postseason setting, I saw a post earlier about Eric Spoelstra should be fired. First off, I agree. Fire him and also fire Nick Nurse and bring him to Philadelphia immediately, because I just think that they really have, and I know that they had a disappointing season, and I know, but like ultimately he's been dragging this team to competence for so long and playing above their heads in postseason settings for so long.
Since LeBron left, basically. What year was that? 2014?
They've had a top 10 defense almost every year since then until now.
Like,
and that was before Bam, too. That was when they had Hassan Whiteside anchoring the defense.
Yeah. Like he had there was a team that was like James Johnson, Hassan Whiteside.
The Sixers played them in the first round of the playoffs and they stomped them, but that wasn't his fault. It was Tyler Johnson, James Johnson, Goran Dragic. Yeah. It was like the Heat rookie Bam was on that team, but he didn't really play that much. Like the level that Eric Spoelstra has dragged and taken second round picks and undrafted guys and late first round picks and made them into quality NBA players is going completely just unappreciated by anyone who is critical of him.
You know what? As I'm sitting here thinking about it, we do live in the hell world. Like what is more perfect of a hell world thing than this really fun Charlotte Hornets team that finally looks like they're going to bring meaningful playoff basketball to Charlotte, to just fucking eat a loss against this plodding dog shit, not fun Miami Heat fraud. Like, yeah, that probably will happen.
I think they've lost one play-in game and they've never lost an elimination play-in game. The Heat, they're like 4 and I think they're the only playing game they've ever lost was that Sixers one 2 years ago, if I remember correctly. Oh no, never mind. They lost to the Hawks in the year that they were the 8 seed. Right. So they've lost the first play-in game twice. They've never lost an elimination play-in game. They're like 4-2 in the play-in or something. Wow, Doc's already been fired.
Wow.
Or did he retire?
Did he leave? Yeah. What's the wording on the tweet?
I was gonna say I was wondering if he was gonna I think he'll probably step down.
It's apparently a Shams thing. Let me see what the Shams thing. Why is it? I'm sorry. I opened Twitter and immediately got triggered by the guy who keeps insisting to me that the West was more injured than the East.
That guy's still going.
He's back again.
He's departing.
Okay, he's departing. Okay.
So yeah, I was gonna say Doc Rivers is departing. Wow, he didn't even. Shams was literally waiting to press the button. The Sixers and the Bucks ended 30 minutes ago. Not even. It was literally, maybe
Doc's probably still in the press conference. Like, I honestly, I bet what Bam did, I think Bam waited for his press. I bet he watched Doc walk off the podium out the door and then hit send. Like, oh, it hasn't happened yet. Okay, never mind. So
postgame hasn't even gone. So he's going to go into. He probably will just bail on that. I would imagine. I don't think you're going to show up after it's already gotten out there that you're leaving the Bucks.
He's running.
Their third coaching search in the last 3 years for the Bucks.
I honestly, why they as they should. I'm not going to clown them for this. Like, it was a worthy. What?
No, I agree. No, I think it just makes sense to part ways at this point.
You brought Doc in for as long as Giannis was there. Giannis is clearly gone this summer. Like, it's time to.
I'm not lifting the slop embargo to talk about Giannis trades until he actually requests out, but we will revisit that at some point this summer. But no, it makes total sense for him. I do think if there's a team out there that can just give Doc one more season, I'm just saying, just give me. I'm not asking for a decade. I'm not asking for 5 years. I'm saying if you're a Chicago Bulls or a Sacramento Kings or whoever's firing their coach, give Doc one more year. Let him pass Pat Riley in the all-time wins. The Wizards. Let's go for it. Doc in DC. The politician comes home, and Doc can pass Pat Riley on the all-time wins list, and we can all laugh at Pat Riley for not having more wins than Demon Doc Rivers and going down as one of the all-time frauds. So yeah, I just speaking of the Heat, back to the Hornets Heat thing real quick. That if it comes down to a whistle late in the game, I know the Heat have always been the devil magic team in close games, in the postseason, whether it's the play-in or the playoffs.
Jimmy Butler's not walking through that door.
I'm telling you right now. Well, Tyler Hero's Tyler Hero is literally the greatest player in the history of the play-in. I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah.
Tyler Hero averages like 30 points a game in the play-in. He's a play-in demon, dude. I'm going to look up his exact stats right now because he's been like literally a play-in riser his whole career. He kind of is the face of the play-in, to be honest with you. I probably should have put him on this image for the episode.
Yeah, certainly.
But the thing I'm going to say is that if the league has any say in it, the Hornets will be getting some favorable calls down the stretch of this game.
Yeah.
They want the Hornets against the Pistons in the first round if it's even close. The
Hornets, that everyone wants Hornets, Pistons, besides Pistons fans, I would say. And they don't really need to worry about it that much. To be
they'll still win that. I think. Still win.
So, but it would just be more fun. So I think we got some interesting. So it's Hawks, Knicks. Pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm. We have Hawks, Knicks. We have. So first off, we got to make our picks before you go to the. Yeah, that's it. We'll have to come up with a Nickeil Alexander-Walker. You're the new villain.
Yeah.
I would say CJ McCollum, but with the way that New York has been trending, they do see. Actually, you know what? I'm going to be nice. They elected Mamdani, but I was thinking the Italian Knicks fans that have trended towards Trump and going anti-union, that they might hate CJ McCollum. But then again, he helps make the rich richer, so it's possible
I think it's the other way around. I think that's a union man. That's Teamster.
Well, didn't they flip? Didn't the Teamsters literally support Trump in the election?
Yeah, I think they did. I don't think
awesome
American
decision,
labor.
by the way.
Great. I mean, American labor.
It's been washed for 60 years.
I mean, it's the Much like American politics, American labor it's so far away. 2 years away from being, or a decade away from being a decade away. If fucking what's his name was doing an assessment on the American left's readiness, we are the fucking perpetual Bruno Caboclo of fucking labor movements. Anyway.
You need to pick, by the way, the Bruno Caboclo. You need to pick your Sixers Magic winner, because this game's now in Philly. I'm pretty sure it's on Wednesday.
I don't know. You guys have to pick. Okay, I'll go with you guys. I don't feel strongly about that. These again, it's going to be one of the saddest playing games we've ever seen, where I think both of these teams would probably rather not even be in the fucking playoffs. And I just think, I think both of these teams are getting swept by the Celtics. Like if they like make it, and it's just kind of like, the Magic just clearly, Franz is just clearly hurt. And, for you guys don't have Embiid, like it's just, it sucks. I don't know. I just watch a Magic team that they've given up. Like, I don't think the Sixers have given up the way that
the Sixers will try really hard. They just don't have talent. Like, it's like they literally have 3 good players.
The Magic are over. Like, they don't give a shit. Like, I think they're just kind of going through the motions. I don't think that Paolo Banchero leadership is doing them any favors right now.
So just a fun fact here for Sixers fans. Coming into today, Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Paul George, and Kelly Oubre with a Dembona at center were the starters. They played 25 minutes together the entire season, and that will be their starters going into the playoffs. They had a negative 42 net rating in those 25 minutes going into tonight. Now they turned things around, but they actually had to throw Andre Drummond out there to kind of swing the game in their favor. So
Bulls down 15 halfway through the first. It might be Jover.
Yeah, you're cooked, dude.
I'm fucking done.
Yeah.
I need the Nuggets to pull it together to at least get me to 14 and 16.
You can join me being a Jokic hater if they don't win that game.
Yeah. I mean, I might. I am gonna beat Bill. I'm gonna beat Bill. Bill is
moral victories here.
Yeah, Bill is 12 and 16 right now. I'm 13 and 15. Zach could still get ahead of me if he picked the Denver under. So if they lose, Zach will beat me. But yeah, you're
I was gonna say your display name when we did the over under podcast, by the way, was Zach Lowe Denver Nugget hater, because he picked their under and we were shocked.
Yeah. And and that is still kind of a crazy pick by him, because they had like pretty much the worst possible season they could have without like Jokic's like knee exploding, and they are still in the last game of the season, like in the mix,
going hot into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right now. Yeah. Like, I mean, they did some weird chicanery with their seeding stuff too, where they were trying to get the Rockets in the first round instead of the Timberwolves. I don't know if you've been following that.
No,
that's what they've been trying to like angle. They've been trying to lose. They sat all of the Thunder were playing their third string guys the other night, and the Nuggets were playing their backups, and they benched all of their starters who were really their backups in that game to try to lose it. And they didn't, they won the game. So like the Nuggets seem to be angling for the Rock, which if you're the Rockets, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's the playoffs. It's not, once again, there's no motivating factors here that you can have more than the playoffs. And the Nuggets are just a better team than the Rockets. But I think that a little bit of disrespect. I know the Timberwolves have played the Nuggets better than other teams have in the past, but it's not like these Timberwolves have inspired a ton of confidence. And they're also kind of banged up going into these playoffs.
Denver's up 1, but Denver's up 4. We're so back. We're so back. I'm gonna have to stay up to watch that to see if I can at least beat Zach Lowe in these.
Sam's falling asleep at his desk tomorrow, and he's like, I had to stay up to see if I could mog on Zach Lowe.
Yeah, me tweeting at Zach Lowe, "Owned your ass, you stupid kid," and then he just
has no idea
who I am.
He's John Hamm.
Yeah,
in the elevator.
I feel bad for you picking against the Nuggets. I don't know why you're in my Long Island City apartment building. Get out.
I was gonna say Zach Lowe famously never believed in the Denver Nuggets.
He's never believed in the Denver Nuggets once.
That's the thing that we know the most about Zach Lowe. But just
let me tell you, Bobby Marks. By the way, let me can this one right now. I would be careful betting against Eric Spoelstra in this round 1 game. I would be very careful, Bobby Marks, betting against Eric Spoelstra in this round 1 game. I've seen the stats. I know all about the Hornets. I know what they can do. I'm just saying there is infrastructure here, and Eric Spoelstra is going to have his guys ready to go.
Are we forgetting that Bam Adebayo just dropped 83 points a few weeks ago? Are we forgetting that Bama said time and time again he doesn't want to be stuck in the play-in, and this team is going to be playing with an edge? By the way, Tyler Hero's play-in stats last year. Hawks game, 30 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists on almost 50% from the field, 50% from 3, 5 of 6 from the line. The Bulls elimination game, 38 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists on 13 of 19 from the field, 9 of 10 from the line. He's the greatest play-in riser in the history of the play-in. So I'm just saying, Con, if you want to snatch the quirked up white boy chain,
this is it. No, this is the quirked up
go through
boy.
the GOAT,
Yes.
dude. You got to go through NBA Jack Harlow here. He's dropping a Neo Soul album next year. He's going to wear the big tall hats that just keep getting taller for no reason.
I also like that me making fun of Zach Lowe for saying something ridiculous is just repeating what you and I said in total earnestness.
You can't get out the heat. Zach says it's stupid as fuck.
Yeah, when Zach say, he's
being a propagandist.
We hate the Heat, so we're allowed to say it. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. He can't.
So
he can't. So
I'm just gonna say, I think I've been trying to think what's the maximum pain outcome for the Sixers. And I do think I'm trying to think because I think the easy way out is them just losing 2 play-in games.
Yeah.
And then your season's over. And yeah, you get destroyed by the Hornets in the second game or the Heat or whoever. And it's embarrassing, but also it's just like, whatever, get this over with. I think getting swept by the Celtics is a much worse outcome where Maxey looks like shit.
I've got a worse one. Game 1. Jaylen Brown's calf is still a little touch and go. I don't know if you know that. Yeah, Jaylen Brown re-aggravates the calf. All of a sudden, Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe are going nuts in round 1. You get
weirdly played really well against the Sixers or against the Celtics this year.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying, us much. The Pistons have given us many more problems than the Celtics, even though Jason Tatum didn't play in those games. To be clear,
I'm telling you, I know what would be the worst for you would be an emotional, gutty Game 6 win. To send it back to Boston for Game 7, and the Celtics just win by 40.
That game, and I can just feel it throughout my whole body. I just wake up on that Sunday, and I'm like, I don't feel so. I feel like I have COVID. I'm just coughing.
Well, they just keep cutting to Embiid back on the, because that's the other thing is Embiid comes back.
Is he gonna come back? 5. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he comes back in Game 5 and has this gutty, he looks terrible in Game 5, and it's he shouldn't have come back. And then Game 6, he puts up 37 and 12 or something to keep the season alive.
Yeah, all right, I'm taking the Sixers. The Sixers are winning this playing game, and they're going to get their hearts ripped out against Boston in some capacity. Yeah. I do realistically think that series I would be shocked if it goes anything more than 5.
I agree.
I think it would. All I'm asking for is the moment that you guys had in the Celtics Nets series when you guys got smoked by the Nets, but Jason Tatum had that insane game. And it was I think you guys were down 3-0 and he went off in Game 4 or something. He had 56 points or something crazy. I just asked that VJ and Maxey have one insane game where they win us a game in that series if it does happen.
That's what I was gonna say. Because honestly, the reason I would say that is honestly just more that Maxey is kind of seems still hurt to me, or something's weird with his handle. Because if Maxey was 100%, you guys are kind of one of our worst matchups, like, because that's like the only thing we're bad at is dribble penetration. And
Okay,
I think that's
but
why
the other part of this is that Nick Nurse's defensive scheme has potential to have like 3 40-point losses in a Celtics series.
I mean, yes, you're just gonna let us shoot threes and
Exactly, because he just, no matter what we do, we overhelp, and
Yeah.
it leads to wide open, not threes, corner threes, which is what the Celtics want to do. Like, that's the shot they aim for on basically every possession.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take the Sixers over the Magic at home on Wednesday night. I'm pretty sure it is. Maybe I'm putting false information out there, but I looked at the Flyers schedule. They're playing at home on Tuesday. So I'm pretty sure that's on Wednesday. So I'm going to take the Sixers there and then the Magic, and I'm going to say the Hornets win against the Heat, but I don't feel great about it. Like, I think the Heat are going to push them. And I'm going to go Magic Hornets in the final playing game. And if they lose that game in Philly, the Magic are done. Like, the Magic are just going to, the Hornets are just going to come out and blitz them. Yeah. And I think the Hornets get in. So I'm going to go Sixers in the 7 seed.
Wait, you're saying it's Tuesday? So is it like a 4 p.m. game or something like that? Like,
how do you flip over the ice?
I don't know. Is it, or maybe it's a 1 p.m. game and then you have.
Did I just get bad information and I'm the one doing bad information on the podcast?
This is why you got to go live. I think this is charming. I think the
Flyers play Tuesday at home, dude. It's not the playoffs though. I had that wrong. It's the last game of the regular season.
Oh,
maybe they'll move that game.
Oh, maybe they do that. Listed at 7:30 on ESPN. Wow.
Maybe they bumped the Flyers game because it's a regular season game versus a play. The Flyers are the ones that own the stadium, though. They usually are the ones. Yeah, Hornets is Tuesday.
Game. Hornets is Tuesday. Okay.
Hornets Heat is Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then Sixers Magic will be Wednesday. So whoever loses that Sixers Magic game, then to have to play another game 2 days later against potentially a team like the Hornets, or even playing the Heat is not fun. It's never fun to play the Heat. Yeah. So
the Heat are so weird this year. I keep saying, like, I think they're bad, but they also like
they are bad.
And you blink and they're up. Like they do score. Like we put the 80-point quarter on them, and that game wasn't really over for like longer than you thought it was going to be. Like they kept just kind of like hanging around, which was kind of annoying. Like I don't know. Like, God, I really hope that doesn't happen. I would make me so mad because I just want to see Charlotte play. Yeah, I know. I now I'm like, I was like being all dismissive, and the more I think about it, and just like every time something bad can happen, it will. And like, what would be less fun than the Heat?
Also, the Pistons would just stomp on the Heat, I think. In the first round.
My God, that would like be over. That would be. Hornets Pistons is just a lot more fun. It's just a lot more fun. But I agree. I'm in lockstep with you on all that. I do think though, I'm picking the Hornets to make it all the way into the 8th seed. But I agree. I don't feel great about the Heat game. I do think whoever wins that Heat game
has a leg up on whoever loses Sixers Magic.
Yeah.
Not only because of the rest advantage, but also because the vibes are just going to be so low with both of those teams if they lose the play-in game.
Yeah.
Shout
out to Allie. So NBC Wow Philly says it's Wednesday. So
there you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
So let's get it. I'm excited to have the first ever 7-8 game on a Wednesday. This is the only way the Sixers season could end in some weird. Oh, the Flyers actually. And by the way, they just booked to share another stadium with the Flyers in a few years. Just get their own stadium and put it in South Philly. Stop being annoying. There's plenty of space. We can figure it out. So that's how we feel about both of those. In the West right now, it's looking like it's going to be Suns Blazers in the first one. Technically the Clippers could win and the Blazers could lose to the Kings, and that flips. But for now, it appears that is going to be what is kind of set in stone there. Before we get into that, though, do you want to talk about your first gut feel? Because I think we both agree that the Pistons and Celtics series, they're not even worth talking about, really, whoever they face.
Yeah,
we'll get to those later in the week when we do our Patreon episode.
I have to think about it. I mean, it depends on who the thing is. Knicks Hawks is really fascinating to me. I'm going to be totally honest. I think that's the most interesting East matchup there is.
So I do think that's going to be really interesting. I agree.
I don't know if interesting, like the Knicks could lose it necessarily, but like I think it's going to be fun to watch. Like
I'm definitely taking the Knicks in that one. I'll tell you that much.
I will be too. Yeah.
So here's why I feel good about the Knicks in that series. The Knicks are a great rebounding team. That's of all the good teams, the Hawks are one of the worst rebounding teams in the NBA.
Yeah.
Jalen Johnson is an awesome player. I put him on my all NBA. Like I had him second or third team all NBA. I can't remember. Incredible season. I think the leaps he's made over the last 2 years, some of the greatest improvements we've ever seen from a guy who barely, by the way, we have to do an episode on him at some point. He is basically an anomaly in that he didn't play at all his rookie season. And now he's an all-star and potential all-NBA guy who's going to be like a perennial guy in these conversations. I can't remember the last time that happened. And the way that everything when he came out of Duke and he had to leave early and he got into it with Coach K and he fell to 21 in the or 20 in the draft. His career is just really fascinating. Having said that, I think he has real potential to be a playoff dropper. And here's why. In the half court, it's still a little bit clunky for him against set defenses.
Yeah.
And I think if they can turn them over and get them out running, which I mean, the Knicks have had games this year. That's why how the Sixers were able to hang with them this year, where they just were the floor balance was all off. They gashed them in the open court, and the Knicks were a slow and plotting relative to the Sixers. If the Hawks can do that, they can hang in this series. Nickeil Alexander-Walker's been a great story. Jalen Johnson's been a great story. This net rating thing has been crazy for them down the stretch of the year. But I watched that Knicks-Hawks game the other day, and Jalen Brunson, even though he's had kind of I would say an underwhelming season compared to what I kind of anticipated, I think he was just kind of in get me to the playoffs mode.
Yeah.
And he's been a playoff killer in the clutch before. And if it comes down to close games in Madison Square Garden and you're exchanging shots back and forth, and their creators are Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Jalen Johnson, maybe CJ McCollum, just throwing a wrench in there occasionally. And then the Knicks creators are basically Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns 2-man game. I feel very confident that they will get good shots. They did at the end of that Celtics game. They did at the end of that Hawks game where it was actually a somewhat important game for the Hawks. It wasn't incredibly important, but it was a meaningful game for the Hawks. And Jalen Brunson just took over down the stretch of that game. I think they'll have between Bridges and Anunoby, I think they can slow down Jalen Johnson and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And I think that this is going to be a series where there's going to be a few people that it's a cute pick to take. Oh, the Hawks might push them to 7. I think that the Knicks, I don't think they handle them, but I think this is a 5 or 6 game series just on gut feeling. And the Knicks win.
I kind of think the Knicks do kind of handle them. I'm going to be totally honest. I don't think like, I don't think it's like a blowout or like anything like that, but I just think that over the course of the game, the Knicks are just a higher caliber of team. I mean, I think this Hawks team is essentially like, it's a fun young team. It's kind of scrappy, but there's like no shape to it. You know what I mean? Like it is just kind of like an amalgam of like, here's all the good players we were able to like acquire. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not, and that's by design, by the way. Onse, like the guys, they're like reshaping the team on the fly. They traded the one of the franchise stars in the middle of the year.
They're pushing the Knicks to 6 and making it a competitive series would basically be like what the Pistons did last year, where it's like, awesome, this is great, and we're going to get a top 10 pick.
Yeah,
and we're reloading. We have cap space this summer, and we were ahead of schedule.
Yeah, exactly. So they're not sweating anything, you know. Like, so this is not like Hawks slander, but I just don't think like this is a Knicks team that's going to have a lot of urgency. Has had a lot of guys who have been there before, and I know I'm hitting all the
playoff experience, and a bunch of guys in their prime too.
Yeah, like it's just not. I just don't think like why I say this is interesting is because the reason why is because I'm interested to see what the playoffs bring out in those Hawks players that I don't know, because I know what I'm getting from Josh Hart. I know what I'm getting from Jalen Brunson. Do you want to know what I'm getting from Cat? Sort of.
Well, no, everyone knows all you know is that it's going to be a roller coaster.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be, dude, I can't get over, like, it was a perfect, like, from the opposing fan perspective, it was a perfect cat roller coaster game where I'm like,
don't you remember the play-in game a few years ago where he was literally I think it was Lakers Wolves.
Yes.
He was unstoppable in the first half. I was like, this is the greatest center I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
He had like 22 points in the first half. I think he missed like 2 shots. He was unreal. And then in the second half, he fouled out.
I remember that. I do remember that. Dude, he was fucking point shaving in the first half against the Celtics. I was like, this is crazy. How are they gonna do anything if he's playing like this? And then he just like did the sit up with the controller and locked in like for the second half and pulled it together. It's very interesting. I think
it was Clippers Wolves, by the way. I was thinking of the Zion game versus the Lakers. Clippers Wolves. There you go. Yeah.
No, but I think what I'm interested to see who kind of rises up and shows themselves to be like a playoff guy out of that Hawks roster. You got a lot of guys like Dyson Daniels. You've got like Okongwu hasn't really had like a ton of opportunity. He was like playing behind like Collins the last like couple of times that this is like kind of come up. You have Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Jalen Johnson getting their first taste of like, hey, you're 1A, 1B. Like, let's see how this goes. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's going to go well for them. But I'd like to. I'm open to like this. Like, if you have a good series against the Knicks and you push them to 6, it kind of opens some doors on some like more interesting things. So that's why I think this is the most interesting series, because I want to see how the Hawks kind of respond and see how they like. How some of their guys show up in the face of adversity, and there's going to be a lot of adversity.
They'll probably be, even if they don't jump up to the top 4, they can add a lottery, whoever of the lottery point guards they like next year. Is just like, if you love Kingston Flemings or Mikal Brown, like Wagler, like there's going to be someone for them to select that will just make their team make more sense next year. And
I'll say this, like if the Knicks are down 12 at the start of a fourth quarter in Madison Square Garden in round 1. I'm just saying, this is a franchise.
The Pacers, the Halliburton, Zach Lowe talked about this.
Yeah.
He was there. He was like, you never feel safe. And the Sixers had a game like that against the Hawks or against the Knicks in Madison Square Garden earlier this year. Yeah. And everyone says it's just like, it's palpable because this is the first time the Knicks have had real expectations for a large stretch of time. They've performed well in the playoffs, but they always run into that one team. The team I would have felt worse about them facing here would be the Hornets. The Hornets were the one team of the lower teams. If the Sixers had Embiid, maybe that also could have been another one where like maybe they push them. Yeah. But ultimately I land on, they don't have the guards that can pull the cat out onto the perimeter and just kind of get the team into rotation and expose Brunson on defense. They'll be able to hide Brunson on defense.
We're heading for a Richeche disaster class.
He's not in the rotation.
Oh, he was playing today.
Kaminga, well, it's the last game of the year. Yeah. Kaminga replaced him in the rotation. He's playing over him.
That's also going to be a disaster class
for sure.
Yeah.
You said a few weeks ago when we were talking about how we always get a surprise conference finalist or finalist, you were like, maybe the Hawks could. And honestly, I think if they had matched up with the Cavs, you could have talked me into like some crazy shit happening. The fact they got the Knicks in the first round is just such a tough draw because not only they would have to beat the Knicks, the Celtics, and the Pistons to make the finals.
They have the hardest path.
Yeah, that's a crazy murderer's row. Yeah. But statistically, we've talked all about the Hornets, and I kind of chalk it up to just like they were trying really hard as a new team put together. And they traded Trey. They got his vibes out of there. They replaced him with CJ, who's a serviceable guy in that role. And they benched Richeche, and their net rating went to the moon. I kind of chalk that up more to like late season, like giving a shit relative to other teams that are tanking and stuff down the stretch. They had a really easy schedule for a stretch. But there was an argument, I think, that they could have been like the surprise run team this year. I think that's kind of out the window now, unless we see some crazy injury stuff happen, which we do every year. But I feel confident the Knicks are going to win this, but I think it will be an electric series. The Trae Young piece of it, him being gone though, definitely takes some juice out of this matchup.
No, it does kind of stink.
There's no one you can really hate on the
it's
Hawks
like a
in the same way.
new team. Is there any Hawks left from that?
Okongwu, he was a rookie.
Okay, Okongwu was a rookie, and that's
rookie,
it.
And he played in those playoffs because he played well against the Sixers and the Bucks in that playoff run. So, but he was a backup. Like there really is no one left over from that team. There's no bad blood. John Collins is gone. Kevin Huerter's gone. Trae Young's gone. Like there's no juice there.
The Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Mikal Bridges, Fleto. That's the image that I always use of the all the people on the roller coaster going up and the skeletons in the other roller coaster going down past them the other way. Mikal Bridges, like just trading their careers, like in
because Mikal Bridges is dragging his body to the end of the finish line every year to play 82 games for this streak that he's still like hundreds of games behind AC Green for. Are you aware if he does this every year?
No, I didn't know that.
All right, so I'm going to look this up right now because I saw that he did it again. He checked into the game and checked out today because he wanted to keep the streak going. But he has the longest games played streak by a mile in the NBA in consecutive.
I remember he played 83 the year he got traded.
637, 638. I think he's never missed a game.
That's crazy.
He's never missed a game in his career so far.
That's crazy. He played during COVID. How did he do that?
In this era, dude? That is incredible. I tip your hat to him. That's incredible.
That actually might be more impressive than AC Green's record. I'm going to be totally honest. Like considering the era and then he played through. He was in the NBA during COVID, right? I'm not making that up. Like, that's like impossible to not miss games during COVID. Like
AC Green played every single game from November 1986 to April 2001. 1,192. Mikal Bridges is at 638 right now.
So he's barely halfway.
There's no way he's going to catch him.
Let's see. Mikal, they're talking
dude.
Nonsense. They're talking nonsense on your name, brother.
Yeah. Exactly. And the world is in such a great state right now that nothing could happen like COVID again. So
no, it's all fine. All right, West.
So let's go to the West. Let's talk play-in first because we'll get a better idea by the end of this podcast when the matchups are locked in. Right now the Blazers are pulling away from the Kings. But it's still not over, and that's something we need to keep an eye on for this. Yeah. But I'm just going to assume it's Suns Blazers for the first play-in game. Did you listen to Bill? And I talked a little bit about this on the Patreon episode. Bill and Legs were talking about the Blazers, and they were just talking about how like they're a fun team that they like watching. And I was like, I get it. Like, yeah, sure. Like young team, whatever. But they were like talking about them as if like they could make some noise. And I was like,
no.
What?
What are you talking about?
No.
They have a negative point differential.
They're like one of the only teams that have beat the Spurs and the Thunder this year. And I'm like, this team is getting annihilated by the Thunder or the Spurs in the first round. Like maybe one win, maybe.
These series are the West. We just talked about how like both teams are pretty much drawing dead that come out of the play-in for the 1-2 in this one. It's way worse in the West. I don't give either of those West teams any shot whatsoever. Any shot whatsoever. None of those teams are.
Unless Wemby gets injured.
Yeah. Even then, I'm going to be honest. Even then,
Wemby's going into the playoffs with an injury. His rib thing, he sat out today and he kind of had to gut it to get through it. I think he'll be fine, but it's not a non-factor.
He sat out today? Does that mean he didn't get it?
You don't listen to anything I say on the podcast. I said earlier in this episode, he played the NBA Cup final, so that counts as a game.
Okay, gotcha.
Which is I actually think that's cool that they count that. It just doesn't show up when you Google his. By the way, I learn every day we have these new fucking convoluted rules. I was like, wait a minute, but he shouldn't qualify because he only played 16 minutes in the Sixers game, and they benched him, and then they're like, there's a rule that you get if you get two games that are close enough in minutes. That I'm like, what the fuck are these rules? Just get rid of this goddamn thing.
It's so fucking annoying.
It's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever.
So Chet Holmgren's gonna make All NBA, dude. This fucking sucks. This sucks so bad. Like,
I mean, he would have had a shot at third team if there was. Yeah, he would have. They're the number one team in the NBA, and his analytics are off the charts. I'm telling you, there would have been people that voted for him.
Yeah, and they need to lose their votes.
Sam's like, wait a minute, maybe we shouldn't trust them with the 65 game rule thing and keep it because we can't trust voters.
If they're gonna vote, if they're gonna like look me dead in my face and say Chet Holmgren was an All NBA player,
listen, if the American population has proved anything, it's that you can always trust the voting base.
So true. That's big facts on God. So I think. I mean, I think these play-in games are going to be kind of more entertaining because I think everyone's got more to like. The only team that's really sad is the Warriors, like, and
Steph
he's
not. Yeah, he's just doing it for the show. Like, I think. I mean, look, the Clippers have also stumbled down the stretch of this season.
Yeah.
Brook Lopez is their only serviceable big since Yannick Coden-Niedenhauser got hurt. They're playing Isaiah Jackson real minutes. It's a tough finish to the season. They're also just like they don't really have a ton to play for other than like kind of proving that they can hang here. I think they could definitely beat the Warriors.
Isaiah Jackson's good, actually. I don't even need to say that about Isaiah Jackson.
I'll say this much. If the Pacers trade a player, I think that's the worst player in the NBA. They don't trade their guys.
That's true.
If anyone is good on the Pacers, they never trade. Think about the last like 5 players that the Pacers have traded. It's like Sabonis, Brogdon, Isaiah Jackson, Benedict Mathurin.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time a guy left the Pacers and went somewhere and was good. It's kind of like the new Heat a little bit.
Isn't what's his name doing pretty well for the Grizzlies? Oh no, it was the other way around. He went from the Grizzlies to the Pacers. The white center. I forget his name.
Huff. Yeah.
Jay Huff. Yeah.
He's on the Pacers.
Yeah. So they had a good shoot. Yeah, I don't know, like, but I think there's like a little bit of like, but you get like Darius Garland, you know what I'm saying? Because they made such a strong change in the middle of the season. I think that like Clippers fans are still going to be kind of excited to like see like, okay, like, considering how things were going, this is all kind of pleasant. Like, let's see how it goes.
Also, Isaiah Jackson is injured right now, but he hasn't played the last 6 games. So
fair enough. But I just think like Darius Garland, you know what I'm saying? Like here, Darius Garland, you have this, you've got the monkey on your back about the playoffs. That
for sure
is there. You get
Kawhi at a 1-game setting is a demon.
Like I think this is like kind of. I think the Clippers are playing with house money. The Blazers are playing with house money. The Suns are. All of these teams are playing with house money and on like not necessarily upward trajectories, but just there's good vibes. I think for all those teams. And then the Warriors are just like,
no. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
I actually, if you ask me which any of these teams I would want to be, I'm still taking the Warriors. And hear me out.
You're insane, but go
ahead. They
have
their own pick, and there's a chance. We saw 2 teams that were in this play-in range jump up last year into the top 4. I would rather be, and by the way, they're the 10 seed. They have the worst record of any play-in team.
Yeah.
So they will have the odds that the Mavericks had last year when they jumped up to 1. And I'm not optimistic about the Warriors' future, to be clear. I'm not saying that. And like obviously the Clippers are way better off with getting Darius Garland and turning everything around. Like obviously, the Clippers and the Suns and the Blazers can keep their pick, but the Clippers and the Suns don't have their pick this year.
No.
And I don't think any of these teams are really doing anything meaningful. Now it's fun that they've had the seasons they've had, but I would rather be in that position where it's like, give me the 10% chance I can get a top 4 pick in this draft and change my fortunes. But in terms of the play-in, like I'll probably end up taking the Clippers to beat the Warriors in that 9-10 game. I will say it is good for the NBA. Occasionally we get this LeBron versus Steph. We get Kawhi versus Steph.
Yep.
In the play, we get Pods versus Garland.
Yep.
That's the worst player in the NBA, according to NBA TikTok, Brandon Podjimski, who's like a completely fine rotation player.
Brandon podcast with they're talking crazy on your name, big dog.
Playing riser.
We've always respected you. Yeah, you got this.
Let a Polish boy cook.
Yeah.
So we do have that. I'm gonna take the Clippers in that game, even though they've been stumbling down the stretch. like the upside for the Warriors, like I know Steph is injured right now and he's been playing through this injury. The knee injury he had is just like kind of just derailed his season. He was amazing still earlier this year when they were relatively healthy. But this Warriors team isn't really going anywhere. And like, do you really want to get it in the playoffs just to get absolutely stomped by the Thunder in the first round?
I don't think they have a choice. They're not getting in the playoffs.
No, I agree. I'm just saying
Yeah.
the motivating factor is not there. You know what I mean? Like the Miami Heat or the Miami Heat, they're going to try no matter what. Like whether they're good enough, that's a question. Like the Warriors, if they're down 20 at halftime of this first play-in game, they could just fucking throw in the towel. Like it's probably Steve Kerr's last game with the team. I know Steph and Draymond will want to go out with pride, but like Steph is just not, it's just not going to happen for him this year. It feels like, so there's that. So I'm going to take the Clippers in that one.
I agree
and then Blazers Suns, that one's closer for me. That's more of a, it's Suns at home.
It's interesting. I think that the Suns, I think this is a game where dog matters. And I think the Suns heavily outdog the Blazers. Like
the Blazers have some dogs. I know Drew's old, but Drew's still a dog.
Yeah.
They have Tumani Kamara.
That's
He's
true.
a dog.
Yeah.
They definitely have some, but I'm taking the Suns as well.
I was just gonna say I don't Jordan Ott versus Thiago Splitter. Like I feel like
the Blazers might end up hiring someone else. They might not even keep Thiago Splitter after this season. So
well, I'm just saying for this play-in game though.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like Ott seems like he's gonna have them ready to go. Yeah. This also is just like a Dylan Brooks team in the play-in.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah.
He's been there before.
He's got everyone in the huddle, grouping everybody up. He's telling everyone all about how good everything is. This it does seem like if Jalen Green is ever going to succeed, this is a Jalen Green. He will either be so bad that you like literally can't look at it without
he's going to shoot
up.
4 for 22.
Or he'll like this will be his one hot playoff game where and all of a sudden
just save it for the best moment.
Every TikTok will be like, are the Suns a sleeper? Like the Spurs don't have like Wemby's hurt, like and Jalen Green went 6 for 7 from 3 against the Blazers in their play-in game. Watch out! Like,
let me be clear.
Yep.
All of these teams are getting annihilated in the first round of the playoffs.
Yes. 100%.
Of all the possible matchups, though, Sun Spurs is the one where I do think I could see them like once again just like grinding out 2 wins.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Spurs are a way better team, but the Suns have just kind of done this all year. What they've done is I said I picked Ott for coach of the year because I genuinely thought this was going to be a dog shit fucking team.
Yes, I'm shocked. I mean, he's been really.
I thought they would have had the fifth lottery odds, like maybe 6, and they've just kind of proven me wrong. And it's really just been on the strength of the Dylan Brooks edition, Ott grinding out wins, Mark Williams resuscitating his career, Colin Gillespie turning his career into something here with them. Like they just have. I talked about this. Like they're kind of Miami Heat coded. Like.
Yeah,
they are just a team that is going to be grinding it out. Jordan Goodwin eating up on the glass. I don't know if Rasheer Fleming will play. I don't know if they trust him enough yet, but like he's another dog they could just throw in there. Like I like the DNA of this Suns team. I just don't think they have enough talent to make any noise. Like Devin Booker's an awesome player, but like the level of number 1 guy on a team relative to when Devin Booker had Chris Paul as his running mate in 2021 in the Western Conference right now is just astronomical. And they also, like guys like Shea and Wemby, have real good teams around them.
Who's on the Suns is getting the Kelly Olynyk Award for injuring a member of the Spurs before they get swept?
Jordan Goodwin would be a good Dylan Brooks would be a good one.
I was gonna say is Jordan Goodwin hard fouling Steph Castle going to the rack and he breaks his tailbone? Is that
I was gonna say there could be that. There could be something along those lines.
Grayson Allen, that's a great call. That's probably
obvious.
Absolutely.
Grayson Allen, that's literally he's more known for that than anything else in his NBA career.
Yeah,
is just getting
thought about that. They would injure. I would want to play the Suns. They will injure.
Once again,
they
have that Heat energy, dude.
Yeah.
So, also wasn't Kelly Olynyk on the Celtics when he did that?
Yes, he was. No, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
It was
I
that.
want to just point that out.
Pulled out Kevin Love's arm.
Didn't do that on the Heat.
All Cavs fans don't listen. It was awesome.
Derailed another LeBron ring. Demons.
Kyrie got hurt later. It was over anyway.
Yeah, but LeBron still pushed it to 6 in the finals.
He did. That's true.
Yeah, he had a Jason Tatum series. He had like a 49 true shooting, but like was still on a chance because of everything else. He also averaged like 36 points per game in that series. Crazy scoring volume. It's offensive to compare it to Jason Tatum. No disrespect to Jason Tatum. So yeah, I'm going Suns over Blazers, and then it's my second play-in game will be Clippers Blazers. And I'm taking the Blazers over the Clippers in that one. They just beat them in a game that determined this. The Blazers, like by the way, a little wrinkle, 2 wrinkles with this. Oh. The Clippers pick is going to OKC. The Sixers pick is also going to OKC. If both of those teams make it out of the play-in, they don't have lottery picks and chances to jump up, which everyone should be rooting for.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The Sixers and Clippers, you should be rooting for them in the play-in if you don't want OKC to become even more demonic moving forward here.
Yeah.
And then the other piece of this is that the Blazers owe a lottery protected first to the Bulls. So if they make the playoffs as the 8 seed, they could have the Bulls could have the 15th pick in this draft in addition to their own top 10 pick. So good way to start their little retool rebuild here post Karnisovis.
There's a lot of good players that are going to be available in this draft at 15. That's like you can get a real NBA starter in this draft at 15. And
I know the next draft's supposed to be weaker, but I do think that the Blazers will probably end up making the playoffs next year if they don't make it this year, and the Bulls will get that pick. But it would be classic Bulls fashion for them to lose in the play-in back-to-back years, keep like the 13th pick in the draft both years, and then the Bulls end up going home with second-round picks from that Lowry market and sign-in trade that they did in 2020. But yeah, so I'm going Blazers to make the 8 seed. And I think they get absolutely euthanized by the Thunder in the first round, but I think it's something that they can build on. I think that they have a lot to look forward to.
I think that's not, I'm going to be clear. They would lose in 5. I think those games will be more interesting than people expect.
When the Thunder, I would probably take the Thunder to sweep them, to be honest. But the Thunder, when they were 28-1 earlier this year, whatever their crazy record was to start the year, the one loss was to the Blazers.
They've got like some interesting, they've got the bad guy. They've got Klingon.
They're pulling up with the guy who has a way more demonic whistle than Shea.
Yes,
like everyone
you gotta go whistle. Band. Yeah,
Danny's whistle is fucking absurd, dude.
Yeah.
So you have that. I mean, Klingon's been playing great. I just ultimately think that. By the way, you saw Jeremy Grant is not playing in April again.
Oh no, really? God damn, dude.
He got an injury. So this was going to be the first April that he's played since 2020, I think. And in a non-bubble season, this would have been the first past April, I should say, because that was obviously the bubble. But I think they said 2019 was the last time that he played in April for a non-shortened season. Jeremy Grant.
That's awesome. How many years is that contract left? 3?
He's got 3 years. He got 2, so he's got 2 after this one, I think. 2.5.
2.5.
So it's really 2 after this one.
2 is not that bad. I thought it was 3 after this season, but
no, he signed a 5-year contract and then they immediately traded Dame.
That's right. God damn.
So I'm just gonna pull that up real quick. Pull that up, House.
Is Dame available, by the way?
That would be cool. They talked about that. Bill talked about that a little bit. Like he just like comes out for the play-in game.
Yeah, he did. Why not? Fuck it.
He pointed out he won the 3-point contest. Like he's definitely able to shoot. I mean, we saw Tatum come back in a year. Dame is much older than Tatum.
Yes.
Like I think that they will be taking it very easily with his body. So next year, Jeremy Grant has makes $34 million. The following year, he has a player option for $36 million.
That contract isn't as bad as I thought it was. I'm going to be I mean, it's really bad. Don't get me wrong, but I thought it was like $50 million.
I can't believe you didn't say it.
What?
In 2 years, Jeremy Grant has, at 33 years old, has a player option for $36 million.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I mean, this is just something I'm thinking in my head. I think if I were part of the decision-making process in the Grant camp, the advice that I might give them would be that they should pick that up.
Be picking that one up.
Yeah, I think I'll be picking that one up.
We'll be picking that one up.
Shout out.
Yeah. Also, I do just want to point out.
Sorry. Quick Rosillo tangent. I have to get the Rosillo tangent out of here. I'm not gonna get into the Rossini like Vrabel stuff just because like that whole conversation's gotten really gross and weird.
Yeah.
But it was funny for like 6 hours and then weirdos got a hold of it and now it's weird. But somebody pulled a clip with her on Rosillo's podcast and they were being gross with it. But Rosillo, what I want to point out is Rosillo said, unprompted to her, brought up a compliment she had paid him off the air to bring it back up to talk about it. Where he's like, you gave me one of the best compliments of my life when you said, I remind you a lot of Mike Vrabel. He rules, dude.
Little did he know.
He's so sick. I love Rosillo. You can never make me hate Rosillo for bringing up like. So, by the way, this NFL lady, she said I'm a lot like one of the best head coaches in the NFL.
Rosillo is one of the only. I just want to point this out.
Yeah.
I know he's more sarcastic than he is ironic, but he's one of the only irony poison Gen X guys.
He really is. That he understands it. Yeah.
That's mostly a millennial, somewhat of a Zoomer thing, I guess. Maybe we're claiming this, but I feel like it's more of a millennial thing.
You have to be a poster. Like you have to be a poster. And like he's one of the only Gen X posters I've seen who understands irony. Like
right.
Bill doesn't get it. Like
no, at all.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I think he'll be picking that one up is like a classic line. Like that he should patent that. Straight up. 100. He should print merch. Speaking of, we'll have merch later this week, by the way. We'll have that up. It's actually, I'm so excited. The new merch is fucking sick. So shout out to Trayton and Alan for helping us with that. We'll make sure to give credit to them on all that when we post it later this week. But so are there any matchups in the Western Conference that you find particularly interesting? Right now, it looks like it's going to be. Do we have a update on the Nuggets score?
I can get that for you. The Nuggets are up 20. So, but the second half is not over, but they are up 19 on the Spurs.
Over under, baby. Let's go.
Our Bulls are down 24 at halftime.
I don't care about that one as much. The Nuggets, I lock that. So
yeah,
I had to get that one.
Well, you also lock Chicago. So
to be fair, in my defense of locking the Chicago thing, did you ever think they would have the balls to do what they did this year? No, we talked about it. I was like, they will never blow it up. And it was like the line was like 31 or 30 or something.
Well, I think what we said was we'll never blow it up because as long as Karnisovas is there, and then they blew it up, and then immediately he wasn't there.
Incredible.
Yeah,
got fired right after. Yeah. So we were technically right on the logic. I mean,
they were up massive. Like that looked really good a month into the season.
Dude, they started 6-1 and they didn't get over 30.
That's crazy. It is crazy that they blew that at the last.
I mean, good for them. I'm glad they did for the sake of their fans.
No, they got over 30. I think they're 30. They're at 31 right now. The over under was 31.5.
Okay, there you go. So, but either way, that's still like I would prefer.
Really bad,
they won 25 games after their 6-1 start for the rest of the season. That's like 25 wins in 73 games or something. Like,
I mean, crazy. And it's a really bad stretch. I'm going to count this up while you're talking because it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my God.
But yeah, so the Nuggets, it looks like if they win that means they're going to play the Timberwolves then in the first round.
Part 3.
I'm almost certain we're going to get. You said they're up 20 right now. Yeah, it's halftime, and they're up 14 at halftime. If they win that game, that is going to be Wolves Nuggets, and then we're going to get Lakers Rockets. The Rockets are the big winners here, dude. The Rockets are a team that what's really funny. This whole time this has been playing out with the Nuggets, I've been thinking you keep talking about how the Timberwolves, we always count them out every year, and then they get some crazy run and they make the conference finals. We almost had that this year where they could have gotten the fucking Lakers in the first round without Austin Reeves or Luka Doncic.
Yep.
And they would have, I mean, like, I don't believe in this Timberwolves team, but they would have obviously won that series.
Yes.
And then now it's looking like the Rockets are going to be the big winners. Another team we did not have any trust or belief in. And now they get this late banged up Lakers team in the first round. Luka might fucking rush back for this for no reason.
They should
punt on this.
They
Should, like, unless they steal, they're up like 2-0 or something, which would be insane, and everyone should be fired from the Rockets if that happens. Although I will say the Sixers played the Rockets the other day, and I just want to put this out there.
Yeah.
At one point in the season, the Knicks felt like this team to me, but the Knicks have kind of steered the ship and got things back on track a little bit. The Rockets are a team where, like, they're up 19, and I'm like, they're going to lose this game. Like, the Sixers were down 28 in that game in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And they came all the way back. They cut it down to 7 points with like 5 minutes left. VJ Edgecombe basically willed them back into it because the Rockets just took their foot off the gas. When Durant went to the bench, they could not score. The Sixers kept turning them over. Durant, even in the clutch, had like 2 horrible turnovers that led to runouts. And I feel like it's not going to be a problem for them early because the Lakers just do not have the talent. Like, LeBron is way too old. Like, they're going to be like, Luke Cornett is going to be running point guard for them at times. And I know he's been good for the Lakers. They don't have anyone else.
Do you mean Austin Reeves?
What do you mean?
Or Luke Kennard is probably what you meant to
say.
Did
I say Cornett?
You said Luke Cornett. I was like,
that would be sick, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say.
They'll have Smart and Luke Kennard will be their backcourt in this series. I know you love Smart. They're drawing dead. Like, so you think Smart, Kennard, LeBron, LaRavia, and Ayton starting lineup is going to be enough to win them some games here in this Rocket series?
This game is I've got to consult with Bloach about this because this game is also it's kind of close to being there's a lot of white players on the Lakers too, so I feel like I can't pick the Lakers without like beating a
side eye.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like I can't do that either. But I don't know. I wouldn't be. I just think this Rockets team is very alarming to me. I don't understand why they're not better. This is less about the Lakers being good and more just me. They're going
to win 52 games, but it has not been an inspiring season.
I don't know. Something's not right. I don't like this Rockets team. I don't believe in them at all. I don't know. Like, you kind of side-eyed me when I said I had Durant on like 3rd team All NBA, and like, yeah, the stats are there, but I've also like watched these. I don't know, watched them a couple of times this year, and I'm not like I haven't been that impressed with Kevin Durant. Now, maybe that's because I'm like holding him to a different standard because he's, a first ballot Hall of Famer, but like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like you guys should be better. And the fact that I'm not saying, the Rockets, I know you don't have Fred VanVleet, but the fact that I'm not saying, the Rockets are going to win this in 4 is an indictment of the season that they've had.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. And I know because of the whole KD vibe thing, the burner thing, and also just like the late game turnovers are a real problem. And I think that when they get deeper into the playoffs, this will be a massive problem for them. I'm not disputing that at all.
Yeah.
Having said that, he's having one of the greatest seasons that we've ever seen from a 37-year-old. Like, sure. He's still an all NBA player at 37 years old. The list of guys who have done that are like LeBron, Kareem, Steph. It happens more often now.
I was gonna say, I think Karl Malone, unfortunately, in Stockton.
Karl Malone. No, I was gonna say I was gonna get to him. Karl Malone, and then so I think it's LeBron, Kareem, Steph, Karl Malone, and I might be missing someone. I don't know if Jordan was 37 when he made All NBA. I can't remember, but it's a short list of guys. It's not Chris Paul. Like, it's like, and once again, it happens more often now, but like Durant is still playing at an extremely high level. He's just not good enough to carry a team in the way that he was 4 years ago. Right. And some of his bigger problems are under a microscope on this Houston team because their spacing's a little bit cluttered, and he's been able to overcome that in the past. But like when they put 2 on the ball, he gets flustered. He turns the ball over in the clutch. Other teams can run out, whatever. Having said that, in a playoff setting, he hasn't really been, covered himself with sunshine and roses recently. But this Lakers team is just, the gap of talent is just too massive for me to think that it's going to be anything that is like truly meaningful outside of maybe stealing a game and trying to get Luka back, and maybe he has a miracle recovery and they can hang. But I'm just like, I think I'm going to take the Rockets in like 4.
You almost fell ass backwards into hitting that Lakers under with the Luka injury. That almost saved you. I think they only got
JJ Redick's a demon, dude.
Yeah,
he's a demon, man. Like he's a great regular season coach.
He really is. And honestly, he might be a good talent. I was gonna say he might be a good playoff coach too. Like he just had dog shit rosters. Yeah, I don't think he's really gotten a fair shot. Like, to be totally honest.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And I don't want to like JJ Redick. I was primed to hate on him.
Yeah. No, he's a very easy person to hate on.
Yeah.
So do we want to talk about Nuggets Timberwolves? Do you think that's like a series worth discussing? How do you feel about it? Your gut feeling.
I mean, knee jerk, I think the Nuggets should win this in 5. I don't know. I just don't. This Wolves team doesn't seem to have it. I don't know. But then again, this Wolves team also I don't know. They're a little Knicks coded, and I think we've said this on the pod before, where it's like
they're Knicks West.
Yeah, like they kind of every time you fucking start shoveling dirt on them, the hand shoots up out of the ground, and every time you start feeling good about them, they keel over and die and shit their pants. Like they go back and forth between the two with such velocity. I think this Nuggets team looks a lot more like the team that I picked to win the title this year. I feel like I kind of do still have to pick them, but I do have in the back of my brain, I'm not ruling out the Wolves climbing into this series. You know what I'm saying? I think I would pick them in 5. I think I would pick the Nuggets in 5 in the series, but
So I see this, and I at one point did say the Knicks are the new Heat. I did say that at one point. The Knicks are too good in the regular season to be the new Heat. The Pacers, the last 2 years have been the new Heat. The Devil Magic, a lower seed in the regular season, but they're amazing playoff risers. That's the Knicks are a 50-win team every year. The Heat never did that. They are good in the playoffs, but they were also good in the regular season. They've been a top 3 seed for 3 straight years. By the way, do you know the Thunder got the 1 seed? Do you know the last team that got 3 straight 1 seeds in the NBA?
Warriors, probably.
Yep, the first 2 finals years, and then the third year with KD. So this is the first time that a team has won. What is their record over the last 3 years of the regular season?
So 66.
It's got to be. They won 64 this year. They're at 64, but they're playing right now. They're losing, so they're probably going to win 64.
So 64. So that's 130, and then whatever it was the first year. I think they won 60 that first year too, right?
Yep.
So yeah, that's 190. Probably something like that. 191. Yeah.
One of the greatest regular season teams of all time.
Yeah.
So awesome. We're doing gut feelings right now. We're not doing our full thing until later in the week when we have a better idea of what exactly everything looks like. But their path has now broken to be, we'll talk about Timberwolves Nuggets in a second, but their path is looking like it's going to end up breaking to be whoever they annihilate in the first round out of the play-in. Then it's the Rockets. And then they get the winner of Spurs Nuggets. So do you think this is just they cakewalk their way to the conference finals and then they start from there?
I think there will be a couple of moments in the Rockets series where they probably have to do something. You know what I'm saying? Because the Rockets do those games are going to be fucking rock fights. Rock fights can go either way. You know what I'm saying? I think if SGA doesn't have it, Durant is they don't really have anyone.
Durant against their perimeter defense is tough though. It's just I just think he's going to turn the ball over a ton. I think that they'll just be super physical with him. Weirdly enough, Alex Caruso's been one of the better guys at guarding Kevin Durant in the NBA because his hands are so good and he moves his feet so well, even though he's like Durant can just shoot over him. That matchup, I just think that is like, I think that's where the Rockets' faults are really going to show, is what I'm trying to say. Like,
it depends on how the game is called. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I think, like, I don't know. I could also see, like, because on the one hand, you know, I feel like sometimes the Thunder kind of get pulled over the line by like the way that the game is called. But I could also see like Adam Silver flipping the switch, like, put those whistles away. We need this series to go 6. Like, and
I don't really feel like the Rockets are that physical. Like, I feel like they have this reputation based on last year that, like, I don't get a feeling. I don't walk away. Yeah. Like, Udoka's the coach. Yes. And Amen is physical. I don't disagree with that. Like Okogie occasionally, but like, I don't really get the feeling that they're like a super physical, like punch you in the mouth team when I watch them. Do they play a disgusting style of basketball sometimes? Yes. But that is more just a product of kind of, they don't have a true like guard lead creator on this team. Şengün has been better down the stretch of the season, but really struggled at times this year. And they were really playing a rock ball style when they had Steven Adams. Steven Adams was like kind of like the enforcer in the post that made them feel like a super physical team. And him being out is just like, I'm like, I don't know how they're going to generate any good half court offense against this Thunder defense.
But nobody does.
And then I agree, but I'm also like, and I also just don't, I think that there are like Reed Shepherd has really struggled against the Thunder. Like, and he could be a big swing piece for them in a playoff series. Amen is someone I think has gotten way too much hate this year. I think that the fact that they don't have that lead creator is really like, all three of their guys need like a guard lead creator just to get them in their spots and make this half court offense flow a little bit better. And Fred proved to be pretty important to this team and just making everything kind of work. And the Amen part of it is like, Amen's really closed out this season super strong, and like he will be a very high variance guy playoff game to playoff game, but like I have not sold any stock with Amen Thompson. Like, I think he's like an incredible player.
Here's what I'm saying about this series, because I don't think that series goes like 6 or 7. What I'm saying is that there's gonna be, and I think that the games that the Thunder win, the Thunder are going to win by like 40, because like on the games when like they're hitting their threes and like the Rockets like don't even have like opportunities to get out and transition. Like it's going to snowball and it's going to turn into a disaster. I do think there's going to be 1 or 2 games though, where it's close and there's
first game of the season went to double overtime. Remember the 2 teams split?
Yeah.
It's a very different team now, but
a different team. And I think J-Dub was out for that, right? Like,
J-Dub's been out like the whole season. It's hard to even know what to make of him.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're going to need him like
at some point in these playoffs. Yeah.
Like you can't count on, you're not counting on Chet's offense in the playoffs. I can tell you that much.
I think AJ Mitchell will be the second guy in terms of like initiating offense and like getting touches, like until J-Dub showed that he can be consistently right. And I do think AJ Mitchell's going to be really good in the playoffs, but I just looked up the Thunder's record over the last 3 years. They're 189-56 over the last few years. They only won 57 the first.
Oh, they won. Oh, okay.
57 the first year. So they've won 77% of their games over the last 3 seasons. My gut feeling, once again, we're just doing kind of how we're feeling this whole thing out. My gut feeling is I think they annihilate teams until they get to the conference finals. And then I think that's where it really starts for them. I think they destroy whoever they play in the first round.
Yeah.
I think the second round, the Rockets will definitely make a few games, but like I think they'll win that in like 5.
Yeah. I agree.
And then I think when you get to the conference finals, would if they get that path, which is looking like they'll get that path, they really did get potentially the only team I felt confident in going head to head with the Spurs that wasn't the Thunder in these playoffs. And the Spurs have been the kind of thorn in their side this year. They've been their one kryptonite. And if they can have the Nuggets take them out, I feel a lot better about their chances about repeating this year if that happens.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with all of that. I think it's I think we can all agree if Thunder don't win the title this year, it's a total failure and an indictment on their program and everything that they've ever done. And they
winning one title during your playoff window and being a great regular season team just is an all-time failure. All Celtics fans can agree with that.
Yes.
I can't believe I'm going to have to sit here and we might have a situation because we'll talk about Knicks Celtics a little bit later once we get that matchup. But I cannot believe, because I feel pretty like I think the Knicks play them very similar to what we just talked about with like Spurs Nuggets, where it's just like I feel like that is a team that can take them down, even though the one team has proven to be better in the regular season. But I can't believe we might be sitting here with the Babe Ruth call that you made from preseason. I told Slightly Bias about this because me and you both did Dark Tank pitches for our teams in the playoffs for making a run for a bit that he's doing right now. And I obviously had nothing to say I basically was just like, what if they won it more? Like I was like, do they suck? Yes.
I turned mine into an appeal about why you should be grateful as a fan that the Celtics are good again.
Oh God.
It's like a more evil.
We're gonna kill you.
Yeah, I know. It was a more evil. Yeah.
Because I had so I was talking to Slightly about this, and I said, first off, I said cut his mic when he told me that you were doing it for him. And I said, he said they were gonna make the finals in a gap year, and I was like, you're insane. I'm gonna be furious if he's right. And he said, I don't really trust any of these teams. And I said, he said this in the preseason. And he said, oh my God, the preseason is insane.
Yeah. No, did you tell him the whole lore?
Yes.
The other thing is that the important bit of context, because I went back and I listened to our over-unders pod.
You completely flipped.
Over-unders pod, I was like, this team is dog shit. There's no way they win more than 20 games. We're getting Cam Boozer. And I watched Demon Minot and Garza.
Who isn't even on the team anymore, by the way. Josh Minot is on the Nets.
I was like, you know what, dude? Fuck this. Let's roll. They're going to do it. Peyton Pritchard is ready. Let's do it. It would be awesome. Unfortunately, I don't think that. The more I'm getting to this, like, I'm starting to kind of worry that we might be, I don't know, like,
it would be an outlier having your best player come back. I honestly think the only comp that's similar is Jordan coming back that season with the Bulls when they were good without him. Yeah. And then he came back and he played the last 2 months of the season and they lost in the second round to the Orlando Magic, I think it was. Mm-hmm. Like, there really is no comp for what Jason Tatum and the Celtics have done this year.
It's not about Jason Tatum like being good. It's just that like we kind of like tore the team down to the studs for like a gap year, and we just have so many guys playing over their head. You know what I'm saying? Like it would just be like,
it would never work out for the Celtics.
Well, and I think like it'd be one thing if we just had to get past the Knicks. I think the Pistons being genuinely good,
the Pistons
makes it a little more like
they look in a playoff context, but they've really impressed me the second half of this season. When I was just like, they're fake, that's not going to translate. And I've just been like, oh no, they're like, they will have an elite playoff defense, and Cade will make their half court offense, and Duren will make their half court offense sustainable. Like it will just make it like consistent on a game to game basis. I'm way higher on the Pistons than I was 3 months ago.
And that makes me feel worse about it because I think both of those series are kind of coin flips for the Celtics. And it's just like, once there's two series that are coin flips, it's just
to get to the finals, hard. Which was your call originally. You called, it was Nuggets Celtics you had. I had Knicks Thunder in the preseason, and I'm going to see, we'll see on the episode later this week.
Good call.
I feel talking about that call right now. I'm just saying that, like, I'm going to see when I go through everything if I'm going to stick with it. But real quick, Nuggets Timberwolves. If Anthony Edwards was coming into this series, also we're going to do this, and then the Nuggets are going to lose, and it's going to flip, and they're just going to play the Rockets, and we'll have to talk about on the Patreon episode that I'm going to have fucked it up like you almost fucked it up earlier in the episode. God, whoever gets the Lakers is the Timber. If the Timberwolves get the Lakers, I'm like, they have done something demonic to have this happen. Like it would be insane. But I think the Nuggets are going to win that series. And I think that their play. I think if Anthony Edwards was healthy, I would give the Wolves a puncher chance. But with Anthony Edwards not healthy, and like I don't trust Julius Randle to really be like consistent in this series. No. And their guard room has just been like kind of like a random shuffle on a night. Like Mike Conley's still playing for them. We've never seen Io in a playoff context. We've Dante, I just think he's a little bit too overtasked with the creation stuff. Bones Highland revenge series is the thing I'm looking at here. Just like we'll get a Bones Highland game. That's my gut feeling on that one, is that he comes off the bench and has his campaign 5-3s game and makes them hang with it. And Rudy will anchor a good enough defense, but it's just like Jaden McDaniels is banged up. Anthony Edwards is not. Ant has the same knee injury that Steph had, right? And Steph sat out for 2 months and came back and it's still not the same.
I think the Wolves are they've just got to kind of.
I think it's Nuggets in like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And I think there will be multiple games that aren't particularly competitive. I do have concerns about the Nuggets defense, but that won't happen until later in the playoffs.
There's only 6 teams that can win the title this year, and it's the Pistons, Knicks, Celtics, Thunder, Spurs, Nuggets.
Clip this when the Atlanta Hawks win the NBA Finals.
Not happening. It's not happening.
That is the funniest outcome, where you just pulled their name out of a hat on that one episode.
Yeah.
You were just like, could they make a surprise run? And if that happens, I'm just going to be like, you're a devil.
Well, and now I'm retconning it, so everyone can own me for not actually having to
backing down.
Yeah, backing down when the rubber hit the road.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll be back later this week. I'm streaming for the playing games on Tuesday and Wednesday. You'll definitely want to tune in for that Wednesday one when the Sixers are playing, because I'll be going through it on that one on the YouTube.
You're going to watch a man talk himself. I'm prediction now. At some point, Trill is going to be rooting against the Sixers.
100%.
And then later in the game, be rooting for the Sixers. Trill will switch rooting interests twice.
100. That's basically been every game I've watched, including the game today, where they were down at halftime to the Hospital Bucks, and then they blew them out in the second half. So, yeah. All right. Thanks for joining, guys. Take care. Postseason's finally here. Let's get it, baby.
Playoff ball. Let's go.
Happy tax season.